Today on the Daily Dose, the General Slocum disaster of 1904. Built in Brooklyn in 1891, the sidewheel passenger steamship General Slocum clocked in at 264 feet, comprising 3 decks with a licensed capacity of 2,400 passengers. On June 15, 1904, the Slocum was chartered for $350 by the St. Mark's Evangelical Lutheran Church in the Little Germany district of Manhattan. Comprised of mainly women and children, the 1,400 passengers boarded the ship for a leisurely cruise to Locust Grove on Long Island Sound for an annual picnic. 30 minutes into the cruise, a fire broke out in the lamp room, quickly spreading to a paint locker filled with flammable liquids and a nearby cabin filled with gasoline. The ship's owners had made no effort to maintain or replace the Slocum's safety equipment, and when the crew freed fire hoses to fight the flames, the rotted canvas fell apart in their hands. Lifeboats were tied and in some cases wired and inaccessible, while survivors reported that life preservers fell apart in their hands. Desperate mothers placed life jackets on their children and tossed them into the river, only to watch in horror as their children sank in their rotted equipment. It was later discovered that most of the life preservers had been filled with cheap and less effective granulated cork, and then brought up to proper weight standards by the inclusion of iron bars. The life preservers had been manufactured in 1891 and had hung above deck unprotected from the elements for 13 years. Captain Van Schaik decided to continue his course rather than run the ship aground or stop at a nearby landing, which only fueled the flames with ongoing headwinds. Flammable paint also helped to spread the fire, and when desperate women jumped from the ship, their heavy woolen garments quickly dragged them underwater. Many more died when the burning decks collapsed, while others were battered by the still-turning paddle wheels when they attempted to escape the flames for the East River. By the time the Slocum sank in shallow water near North Brother Island, an estimated 1,021 people had either burned to death or drowned. Of the 321 survivors, only 5 of the 40 crew members had died. Reports indicated that Captain Van Schaik deserted ship as soon as it settled on the bottom, jumping into a nearby tugboat along with several of his crew. Eyewitnesses reported that his jacket was hardly even rumpled. Of the 8 people indicted by a federal grand jury in the aftermath of the tragedy, only Van Schaik would be convicted of criminal negligence. The neighborhood of Little Germany, which had been in decline for some time before the disaster, almost disappeared in the aftermath of the fire. And there you have it, the General Slocum tragedy of 1904, today on the Daily Dose.